Leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com. Disclaimer: Tokenmetrics Media LLC does not provide individually tailored investment advice and does not take a subscriber's or anyone's personal circumstance into consideration when discussing investments, nor is it registered as an investment advisor or broker-dealer in any jurisdiction. Information contained herein is not an offer or solicitation to buy, hold, or sell any security. The Tokenmetrics team has advised and invested in many blockchain companies. A complete list of their advisory roles and current holdings can be viewed here at tokenmetrics.com/disclosures.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are live. Welcome to the Tokenmetrics Monday live stream. I'm your host, Bill Noble, joined by my colleague, Forrest. Forrest, good afternoon.
Hey, Bill. Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Thank you for asking. Samora, Abu, Farmer Sam, Warren B., Ani, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcoming some of our guests and our loyal viewers. Farmer Sam Forrest. Love it. Friends, today we're going to cover the trend. We're going to tell you it's your friend. We're going to talk about inflation. We're also going to let you know what to do if you're wrong or you get hurt, or what a downtrade might look like and how we can help get you ready. So Conrad, King Nick, welcome. And without further ado, this is your market update. The crypto trend and inflation, brought to you by tokenmetrics.com. Galaxy Digital, the stock of my favorite crypto hedge fund run by Mike Novogratz. Why is this the first slide? Well, Mike is invested in both Bitcoin, big caps, and he's also raising funds for gaming and NFTs. They've got their own subsidiary, Galaxy Digital. And because they've been investing in things like NFTs and gaming, the market's been kind of punishing them, even with Bitcoin going back to its high. Well, guess what? Guess what? Galaxy broke out near the apex of a triangle. In technical analysis, that can be really bullish. It popped above a Gann line at 2350 after retesting the triangle. My colleague refers to that as bump and run. Galaxy Digital up 11% today after we've been pounding the table on this. This stock is at 26. It has potential to go to 48, not investment advice. So if Galaxy can run, the crypto trend can extend. Bitcoin, a classic example of buy it, as in crypto assets, when they're down and frankly, they look like shit. Okay? So Bitcoin over the weekend, 60K. Oh my God, it's going to fall apart, turns around, goes right back to 63K. Again, you're getting paid in this market to buy it when it looks terrible, and you're getting hurt if you FOMO in when it's up. Now, with ETH, slightly different story. Yes, it's been down like, say, 3 of the prior 4 days. ETH bounced or built a base off a very important Gann line. That's been a really stubborn level of resistance. It's now acting as kind of a floor. That's like around, 39, 35. So from a Gann kind of fib point of view, ETH's got room to go to 5,300, right? If you see 70K Bitcoin, I can't imagine you wouldn't see 8K ETH. Another reason for this, okay? ETH versus Bitcoin. I mean, when this thing broke down through the bottom of this triangle, I was like, I just couldn't believe it. I'm in this business, and I know that they're going to do a fake out. I know they're going to do a false breakdown. They're going to run the stops, test everyone's patience, and then take it back. Even though I knew it, I still couldn't believe it when I saw it, that ETH could underperform that much. And then, of course, what happens? ETH turns around, outperforms Bitcoin, goes back up. This morning, Bitcoin was up 4% with ETH up 1%. Now they're about even for the day in terms of percentage gains. What's my point? ETH is going to make a real attempt to outperform Bitcoin coming up over the next 2 months. Now, there's something else beyond the chart. There's something else that I'm not showing you. What I am telling you is this. Everyone is talking about crypto as a hedge against inflation. And when people talk about that, they assume you're talking about Bitcoin. Well, at Token Metrics, we did the math. And we found that of all commodities, ETH is most closely connected to things like gold, silver, and copper, the traditional inflation hedges. Well, as I'm sure you know, we're in a new world with a new style. And if ETH moves like gold and silver, then ETH is the new gold and silver. So not only is the supply vanishing story there for ETH, right? Thanks to EP 1559 and staking for ETH 2.0. There's that. And there's this idea that ETH is the better hedge against inflation. And if I know that and you know that, you can bet smart money knows that too. Total crypto market cap was below 2.4 trillion. It's got room to 3.73. How does total crypto market cap expand 700 billion? Well, Bitcoin's got to participate. ETH's got to participate. Solana, DOT, possibly even Binance Coin have to really take off. All these things feel possible. They also feel really hard to trade, which is why I want you to focus on dips and red days. Okay, Solana tortured everybody at 149, took off to 200. Now everyone's like, oh my God, I can't buy it. Oh, damn, I missed it. Wait, did you? If this thing holds above 201 and maybe takes out 216, 236 could be next. And Solana could wind up going much, much higher. Just remember, back in 2017, ETH, the new guy on the block, okay, went totally parabolic in the fourth quarter. Now, I don't want to get crazy about this, but you can't underestimate what Solana could do if the everything bubbles at the end of the month and into November. Binance Exchange one-day index, daily index. We use these daily indices on tokenmetrics.com. Okay, so our customers know about this. We're giving you a little help here by doing it on the live stream. These indices help you pick which altcoins can be good for one day. And if they show up day after day, it can help give you hints on the trend. Illuvium and Solana have been in there for a while. Binance Coin and Elrond just popped in there. Speaking of Binance Coin, 507 has been massive resistance in this thing for a while, right? Every time Binance Coin gets up here, it has gotten hammered. Now, what I do notice this time is Binance Coin is just coiling right below the resistance. And all year long in the layer ones and in the big caps, when you've seen this type of price action, it's led to a breakout, not investment advice. So don't be surprised if there's a surprise breakout in coins like Binance Coin, because we've seen SHIB do it. We've seen other coins that people gave up on do it. Binance Coin could be next. Elrond, wow. You know, from 240 to 60 to 290. You might be wondering, God, you know, how brave do you have to be to buy it up here? Brave, okay? Brave. Now, if Elrond continues to show up in our indices, then maybe you can buy a dip after and if it takes out its all-time high, right? But be advised, okay? FOMOing in on big green days has not worked. So if you're going to get involved in this, or you're going to take a shot, do it on a dip with a stop. Now, Algorand, little bit of a different story here. It's having a good day. We've been pounding the table on this. At $1.80, a consolidation may be forming here, and this could be the next Solana move. Now, I know everyone was looking for the next Solana. Everyone is looking for the next like 5X trade headed into year end. I don't know if there is one, but I'm really interested in Algorand because it has a lot of backing from big Wall Street players. And if some of these other layer ones, like if Polkadot, Solana, Avalanche, Phantom, if they all take off, Algorand is probably going to go with them. Speaking of Polkadot, I've been pounding the table on this, and that's okay. Polkadot has been range trading for 10 days. That's okay. October 25th was a big GAN date, and here we are. So I'm expecting something to happen in Polkadot to take it up and test 50. This is a totally underrated narrative, and I can't believe that we're going to have an end of cycle move without Polkadot participating. Matic, something we've talked about on the live stream for 3 years. It's how Ian Bellina made his name again. It broke out. It retested it. It's doing a bump and run. And apparently, Mr. Market thinks that there's room for layer 2s on ETH to do better. So much the better, right? I mean, this whole idea of both layer 1s and layer 2s rallying could be good for the altcoin space. That said, when was the time to buy Matic? Was it time to buy Matic today on the green candle, or was it time to buy yesterday when it looked awful? I understand this is difficult, right? I get it. It's really easy to get the microphone and say, buy it when it's awful. And then you have to do it in front of your trading screen with your money. But it's a pattern we see over and over again. Chainlink. New rule on the live stream. Never fade Forrest on Chainlink. Chainlink was at 23. Forrest said buy. People perhaps were skeptical. Chainlink is now at 33. It's a 23 to 37 range. And the point is this. Who was interested in Chainlink at 24? Nobody. Who was interested in Chainlink at 26? Nobody. When should you buy crypto assets in a late cycle environment? When no one likes them. So not in a crash, because you'll know when it's crashing, but when it's down for the day or down for the count, that's when I want token metrics readers, subscribers, fans, etc. I want you guys to do that because we want to help you make money in crypto. Tesla. This is our indicator for the everything bubble. All right. Everything is in a bubble. All right. Tesla happens to own a ton of Bitcoin, breaks out of a big triangular formation, does the bump and run. Today, there's fundamental news out that rental car companies are buying Teslas. They were able to raise prices. And yeah, oh, by the way, they have something like $1 billion in physical Bitcoin. So look at what physical Bitcoin on the balance sheet did for Tesla. Crypto is not dead until the everything bubble has run its course. When does it stop? When is the end of the cycle? I know everyone wants to know that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that question, okay, over to Forrest because he's got the scenarios, and we will do altcoin overtime. And I would ask that while Forrest is telling you how it's all going to go down and what the scenarios are, that you would pound on that like, subscribe, and alert button, because we've got a new time for our live streams on Thursday at noon Eastern. So turn on alerts, give us some love. I'm going to turn it over to the man for the scenarios and a TA on Bitcoin and ETH. Forrest, take it away, man.
Thanks for the legendary market update, Bill. Let's just jump over to the Bitcoin chart. If I can share my screen here, and do let me know if you can see it in just a moment here. So, yep, looks like we're good to go. All right. So I want to walk through on Bitcoin and Ethereum the big levels to watch out for, right? And now, as Bill mentioned, I think Ethereum is the real play here because of the supply crunch of Ethereum. But we'll get into all that in just a moment. I've really pared down and simplified the most important margin pressure levels that we're currently seeing for Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So we had our bottom at 29,000 and change. Yes, we did have a wick. We had a temporary wick that did drop below this. When it comes to margin pressure levels, you take the lowest, the most recent swing low, and that's where you calculate them from. And you can see that from this $29,278 low, we were able to calculate two big margin pressure levels, the 3x long and the 2x long. Well, Bitcoin had a very aggressive move, blasted through the 3x long, found support on it, actually broke down below it, tested as resistance. And once it broke through this 3x long level, coiled up underneath the 2x long level, broke through it very hard, made a new all-time high, and has since come back to test this range. Now, it hasn't come back all the way to test the 2x long level, which in my opinion is a little bit bullish. However, I do want to draw your attention to, in just a moment, a potential head and shoulders that we're seeing maybe form, right? Maybe form if we come back down. From our $39,600 swing low here, we can also calculate our margin pressure levels. We saw the 4x margin pressure level get broken very strong with a lot of momentum. This lines up with our previous resistance point, right? 3x long level broken with a lot of momentum. We made an all-time high. Where did we find support? Our 3x long level. I don't know if you guys are seeing a pattern here, but these key resistance levels are being broken with big Bitcoin candles slicing right through, right? And that's been the story this entire time. Bitcoin slamming through these margin pressure levels with very big candles. Now, that is a momentum trade, or that is a sign of a momentum trade, right? So Bitcoin, the first real relief we've seen since this 39,600, and when I say relief, I mean just slight pullback, dip buying opportunity. The first dip buying opportunity we've had really is at this 3x long level at about $59,600, just under 60K. Tried to test below 60K, got bought right back up. That means there's buyers. It means there's buyers waiting down here to buy it when it drops below 60K. Why are they willing to buy it when it drops below 60K? Well, as soon as they buy below 60K, or as soon as Bitcoin drops below 60K, they're able to come in with a big fat 3x long, right? And they're able to come in with a big fat 3x long leveraged position because it gets their liquidation point below this support right here. Why do they want their liquidation point below this support? Because if there was a flash crash, a flash wick down, where would it get more than likely bought back up? Down here. They wouldn't get liquidated, right? Now, some people trade with stop losses, of course, but you always want to be able to predict or protect your liquidation point with support. And that's how margin pressure levels work, right? We're predicting the behavior and the desire to hide your liquidation point, or for leverage traders to hide their liquidation points below these leverage levels. Now, we can calculate, again, another margin pressure level off of this 39,600 level because we haven't hit it yet. The 2x long level. That's the next resistance point if Bitcoin continues this pattern and goes upwards, right? 79,000 let me double check this. So I'm getting the exact number for you guys. 79,200. Yep. 2 times 39,600, right? 39,000 or $79,200 is where we would expect to see some resistance broken for Bitcoin. Now, pay attention, because what happens if Bitcoin breaks this resistance level with a big fat candle, comes down to test it as support and continues up higher? Well, then the momentum has not been exhausted yet, and we're potentially heading to our next margin pressure level, which at the moment is $89,250. So this is a very, as we creep up higher, if and when we get to $79,000, watch how Bitcoin breaks it, or if it coils up underneath it and ends up failing. If it ends up failing, it may be time to get out, take some profits, right? But if it slams through it with another big fat green candle, then that's a strong sign that we're headed to the next margin pressure level, which at this moment in time is $89,250 based on our $59,500 retracement. Now, as I mentioned, let me give you the slightly more potentially bearish scenario. Head and shoulders, right? On the 4-hour, right? This is shoulder, head, and we're potentially forming a shoulder, right? We're starting to see this form a little bit. Bitcoin in the last 4 hours giving us a red candle, trickling back down to the support. Now, if we see a retest of this support at $59,600 or so in this range, look for a potential breakdown to the next support level, right? We know there's buyers waiting to buy it at 60,000, but if it retests again, right, and it breaks down to 58,600, that may be the next level where we find buyers come in, right? And if things really start to get bearish, right, and if we really start to see Bitcoin trickle down, and it honestly probably develop, faster than that, and we see this head and shoulders really play out, the next big support level is this 4x long level that we just talked about at about $53,000, just under $53,000. That, to me, is a phenomenal buying opportunity and phenomenal trade opportunity. Why? Because we expect buyers to come in, and we expect to be able to see at least a bounce, right? If this did happen, and at this point everyone starts getting worried about a bear market again, Bitcoin's down 15-20%, everyone starts getting worried about a bear market, right? Even if we did, for whatever reason, go into a Bitcoin bear market after, and ended up being the double top, and everyone started freaking out, we would at least expect to see a bounce, and probably a pretty strong bounce here, right? All the way back up to this resistance level. So this is a potential trade opportunity that I want everyone to be aware of, because at $53,000, there's strong support. We so often see bounces between the 4x and the 3x levels, and then the 3x and the 2x levels, right? So if Bitcoin drops to $53,000 in this zone here, I am absolutely going long. I am absolutely buying that dip. That being said, things are looking pretty bullish to begin with, and we might not actually even see this head and shoulders form and complete. And even if we do get this head and shoulders completing, a failed head and shoulders where we come back down here and we get caught at this 2x long level and then start going back up, a failed head and shoulders can be very bullish, right? Because everyone sees the head and shoulders. They see the head and shoulders look like it's about to play out. It gets a reversal. That's a very bullish sign when a head and shoulders gets rejected, right? So I want to jump over to the ETH chart really quick. And I want to first and foremost on the ETH chart, zoom out to the daily. It's a good habit to get into, guys, and just show you the trajectory this bull market that ETH has been on, right? It's been operating in this channel. Right now, it's in what I would refer to as the accumulation portion of the channel. Ideally, you want to be able to accumulate in the bottom half of the channel, start taking profits in the top half of the channel, accumulate again in the bottom half of the channel. Now, we have had a nice bounce, right? We're not necessarily on the bottom of this trend line. So is it the absolute best buying opportunity? No, but all things considered, what we're seeing on chain with Ethereum becoming extremely scarce, and with the overall trajectory of where Ethereum is headed towards, I think Ethereum's probably the safest buy. If you had to get, if I had to get long on something right now, if you said, Forrest, here's $100,000, you have to buy something today, right? Probably just buy spot ETH. Spot ETH makes me feel very safe right now. It's on a solid trajectory. Even if it can just hold this bottom trend line here by January 31st, it's at about 5.7K, right? Now, of course, trend lines can be broken. Trend lines can be broken, right? If this bull market ends, lots of trend lines will be broken, right? But if this bull market can hold out for the next 3 months, next 75 days, we're looking at 5.7K basically programmed into Ethereum's future, right? Watch the burn. EIP 1559 has reduced Ethereum's net issuance by 57%. That is more than a Bitcoin halving. I know I talk about this every single live stream, but I'm trying to pound the table on it because I think it's that important, and I don't think it's been priced in yet. So EIP 1559 happened in, I believe, September. And yes, we've seen a nice little bounce out of Ethereum, but it's just, or maybe it happened in August. The days and months start blurring together. But it's that we haven't seen a serious repricing of Ethereum yet. Yet the net issuance has dropped 57%. What happens when Bitcoin's net issuance drops by 50%? It's called a Bitcoin halving. It happens every 4 years. You see an entire bull market just completely take over. All Bitcoin and all altcoins just appreciate in value based off of Bitcoin's supply getting cut in half. Yet we've seen Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, we've seen Ethereum's market cap or net issuance get cut in more than half, and we've yet to see it completely reprice like we would expect over the next several months. Right? Why hasn't it repriced yet? Well, when we look at Bitcoin halvings, it takes, you look at a Bitcoin halving, it can take, right, a year for it to reprice. It can take a year for it to reprice. Now, last thing I'll give you guys before I cut it back over to Bill is the big margin pressure levels to watch for Ethereum. Guys, if you get a correction or a buying opportunity at this 3x long level, it's about $4,000. Yesterday, I believe this red candle actually gave you that buying opportunity, $4,000, right? It looks like we're going back up to retest the previous all-time high at $4,400. If that scenario occurs where Bitcoin comes back down to test $53,000, again, I honestly don't think it's that likely, but I'm prepared for it, right? Just because a scenario isn't likely doesn't mean that it can't occur. We need to be prepared for it. Right? If that occurs, then where's the Ethereum headed down to? Well, if Bitcoin hits 53,000, I'd expect Ethereum to come back down to 3,400, this 2x long level, right? This 2x long level, it's the 2x long off of our $1,700 base here, which we tested multiple times, right? We tested this support already, but if Bitcoin starts dropping down to 53K, that's where I'm buying. And if we ever see $3,000 Ethereum again, I'm absolutely buying down there as well. Now, on the upside, Ethereum yet to break its all-time high, or convincingly, I think it might have broken it by a few dollars on some exchanges. 2x long level off of our most recent swing low is around $5,300, $5,304, depending on what exchange you're on, roughly $5,300. That's where I would consider in a short-term trade taking some profits on an Ethereum position, assuming you built the Ethereum position, down here, all along the way, right? $5,300 potential resistance for Ethereum. But again, pay very close attention to how these long levels are being broken, right? Are they being broken? Are they being absolutely slammed through with one big green candle or two big green candles all in one day? That's pretty bullish, right? So just wanted to give you guys those levels, and I hope this content is helpful. I'm going to kick it back over to Bill.
All right. Thank you, Forrest. So ETH hit support yesterday through Forrest methodology and mine. So very interesting. I saw somebody saying he needs 7K by the holidays And DeFi Jesus says 2022 is ETH season. Very well could be the case in January, because remember, institutions and retail alike are going to come out of the holiday season going, how do I get invested in crypto? Institutions are going to want to put things on their books earlier in the year. And that could mean a lot of money flowing into ETH, because after all, if you've got to buy the Bitcoin ETF as an institution, you're probably late to the game. I don't think anyone's going to penalize you for that, but the hot trade frequently is not the older trade. So what Forrest is telling you about ETH, the support levels, and the supply situation is something noteworthy for you. Very noteworthy. It's also noteworthy for Token Metrics and our new streaming service, which is coming out soon, Token Metrics TV. If you're an existing customer, you can get it via our website. It's got a Hulu look to it. All right. And that is coming out soon as a lower cost alternative to get you involved in crypto. So if you want indices and all that other stuff, we have that too. But TV is coming. Now, speaking of TV, let's move to altcoin overtime. Because other than Forrest, I know that y'all are here for altcoin overtime. So before I get going, please give us some love. Hit that like button. Turn on alerts. There's a Thursday stream now. So without further ado, it's altcoin overtime. The more I talk about Polkadot, the more I talk about Polkadot, the more I have to talk about Polkadot in case you missed it in the market update. So for Polkadot fans, October 25th is a big GAN date. If Polkadot is at 42, I'm expecting it to go to 50 within the next 2 to 3 days. Now, hopefully that has a shelf life. That's a little risky, but I'm expecting something to happen in Polkadot sooner rather than later. If nothing happens in Polkadot, I view it as prolonging the inevitable, because we're not going to have a late cycle blow off top without this coin. In my opinion, not investment advice. Woo Network, a Novogratz favorite, recently partnered with a Token Metrics favorite, Perp, to provide additional liquidity. Woo has broken out of an accumulation channel, spiked up, wicked back. And what do I say? I say, buy it when it's down. Don't buy it when it's a huge green wick up. Buy it when it's wicked down and it's a little bit down on the day, while also being on top of support. So not investment advice, but when do you want to buy these altcoins? When they're up or when they're VeChain. Can you go anywhere today without either hearing about or seeing a supply chain problem? Who has a supply chain problem, a solution? Who has a supply chain solution in the crypto universe? VeChain. I rode this for a while. It went way farther than I thought. We went to 28 cents. I brought this up last week at 12. We're now at 14. If this is an accumulation channel, like we've seen all throughout altcoins, right? This rising channel where bulls are picking up steam, VeChain could go to 17 cents. Again, who's got the supply chain solution in crypto? Perp. Not giving up on this. Perp is annoying. I know. It's annoying. It was annoying last time before it went from 3 to 26. That's kind of what Perp does. As long as Perp is above 14, I think the idea of traders using leverage, they're not going to go crazy with leverage, but if you have a market that proceeds higher in an orderly fashion without gigantic dips, leverage traders are going to be in that 2 to 3x level. That favors coins like Perp and DYDX. DYDX doing what all cryptos do, stopping everyone out right at the support prior high at 1850. So the ceiling was tested as the floor. Everyone got stopped out. Now it's sitting waiting to get back above 1850. I don't think it's a zero-sum game between DYDX, a derivatives exchange, and PERP. I believe there is room for both. The question is which one rallies and when, because they don't go at the same time. Wait a minute. Now that I say that, the only thing that hasn't happened is that they both rally at the same time. Interesting. Phantom. Okay, this is a classic case. I didn't play this perfectly, but I saw it coming. Both sides, right? 250 was a level. I saw Phantom consolidating below this line, just below this line, go up, go down, go up, go down. Pressing 250, did not back off. Then you wake up 4 days later, Phantom is through 250. Next stop, probably 4. All these layer ones, all these big cap coins, this is what they've done. They go to resistance, and oddly, you're paid using a stop. You're paid to buy it when it's down and then try and hang on and let the breakout happen so you have trade location and you can actually take some profit and let the rest ride. So if DOT is going to go, if Phantom is going to go, in other words, Phantom at 3 may be better than some of these other layer ones, at their all-time highs, because this really looks like it's trending. This and Algorand may pick up steam. Now, speaking of picking up steam, what do you know? Audio, after showing up as a coin smart money was buying last week, okay, Audius has quietly rallied to a major Gann line at 229. Audius has not been able to get through this Gann line on 4 prior attempts. So, is this the 5th failed attempt? I don't know. And I'll step out on a limb. I don't think so. There are audio competitors coming out. But wait a second. Doesn't that validate the original model? In other words, if everybody's got to compete with Audius, doesn't that mean Audius should be higher? I mean, what happened when everybody thought that, somebody should do something about the gas fees on ETH? Well, I think ETH went from 1,000 to 4,000. So watch out in this thing. If smart money is accumulating it, there have been big fundamental announcements. And really, I don't think any of the old announcements or any future announcements are priced into this. Eden. Oh, God, this coin. This coin, I understood, had really interesting fundamentals. I started watching it at 6.5, at which point, like many of these DeFi coins that are innovative, they had this huge token unlock that blindsides the market and drives it from like 7, to 2.5. We're seeing smart money flood into this, and it looks like everything below $3.72 has turned into what I would call a liquidity event for big players to come in, okay, and just literally just round it up and collect everything that was puked out by token holders. So there is this idea of the bigger the base, the higher in the space. This is a new coin, so I don't know, 30 days may or may not count as a base, but that consolidation has that upward sloping bend to it. So I'm really paying attention to this, because frequently when something gets completely killed and left for dead is the best time to actually say, I wonder if this thing gets above 372. If I bought the next dip, what would happen? API3. Yeah, it's up 15% today. Yes, smart money has been flowing into it, but it's trading at 6, and it used to trade at 12, and the next resistance may be at 725. So this is more of an FYI thing. I'm not going to say one way or the other, okay? I'm not really into buying things up 15% in one day. That said, there may be a dip buying opportunity here. this may be a bigger trend starting if you look at the Elliott wave, right? Bitcoin reserves the right to wreck all your altcoins. So if you see it up 15%, all it takes is one big up day in Bitcoin for you to get the dip or get hosed in certain altcoins. So yes, it's up 15%. The chart looks good, but that doesn't mean you should go out and do something that could potentially get you wrecked. Okay, Rune. Now, again, this is a classic example. It's almost like a teaching moment, right? Rune is a big DeFi holding of multi-coin capital. It hung around $7.87 around a GAN line that's been important going back to June. And how annoying was it, truthfully? How annoying was it to have to sit there and listen to me talk about Thorchain, knowing that it wasn't going to do anything for the next 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 days, whatever. And then all of a sudden, you wake up and it goes from 8 to 16 and it's gone. This whole idea about consolidating below resistance or by buying things when they're so annoying, you don't even want to talk about them anymore. This is how crypto has worked all year, and it is definitely how crypto is going to continue to work across everything from Bitcoin to SHIB. Okay, Decentraland. I'm interested in the metaverse. I think it's like the new gold rush where people are going to want land, right? And they may not mine gold, they may not find gold, but land is still land. Okay, if Facebook is trying to go there to create a Web 2.0 dystopia, nothing personal out there, guys, but that could mean the blockchain, crypto, NFTs could wind up a ticket, okay, to the Super Bowl of gaming and living in the metaverse. So I'm watching Mana consolidate on top of a big fib level at 72 cents. And I'm wondering if the next stop is not 92 cents or possibly even a break of that. Somewhere in this metaverse world, there's a big trade. Matter of fact, I think somewhere the whole future of NFTs is going to be tied to some sort of altcoin that's attached to the metaverse. In other words, NFTs is an asset class. How do they go up? Well, you either have to have massive speculation in the whole market, or you have to have a catalyst that pulls NFTs higher. The same way ETH pulled DeFi higher, or who knows, maybe the other way around. Maybe a long time ago, it was DeFi that pulled ETH. Either way, the future of NFTs is tied to the metaverse, I think. So when you do your research, look at these metaverse coins and find out, hey, is this NFT going to be good in the metaverse somewhere? And is this metaverse coin got good tokenomics? So where if I get in, I might be able to capitalize on the metaverse trade, even if I missed the NFT trade. Because let's face it, folks, everyone missed the NFT trade. That's why it was so brilliant and spectacular and so brief in terms of the game. Everybody missed it. So the metaverse could be what's next for NFTs. Now, going back to the other end of the spectrum, back to Boringville, Tezos. Tezos has done nothing. Tezos has gone up and gone down. Tezos, a little birdie whisper in my ear, may be an NFT play because of how decentralized it is. Okay, so again, value investing, thinking about stuff no one cares about. This may be here a week from now. It may be here a month from now. But there may be a narrative in some of this stuff like Tezos, Algorand, stories that you haven't heard yet, right? It's like, you want to buy Elrond at 300, or you want to buy Tezos where it was back in September or May or even February. You know, Not investment advice, obviously, but you really have to be asking yourself, if I missed it, how do I have a play that potentially catches me up without having to buy the high or get wrecked if there's a correction, especially headed into November? Now, I know there's a whole bunch of tokens out there that everyone's going to ask for, so I'm just going to cover them. Okay, Armor. Has the tokenomics of some of these destroyed governance tokens, have the tokenomics changed? Are they coming back? Okay, Armor, if it takes out 17 cents, you can say that the whole give up trade below 15 cents was just that, a give up trade. In other words, this thing puked below 17 cents and died like it was over. And every time someone would ask me, I would say it needs a catalyst. It needs something, right? So if that something has hit the market and that something is driving price above 17 cents, okay? If price is driving above 17 cents, you might be able to say the narrative has changed. Now, if the narrative has not changed, not investment advice, but in any other altcoin, you have to ask yourself, do I want to put up with any more downside if it can't break out? And if the answer is no, then act accordingly. Your accountant will be happy that you did tax loss selling, not investment advice, not tax advice. SHIB, yes, I know. You absolutely have been hanging on for SHIB, and we appreciate you. So I understand you can listen to a playlist and that burns SHIB. I understand Smart Money was buying this probably to get the FOMO going in SHIB. SHIB is above resistance at what I would call 34. That's 4 zeros and 34. And it's trying to push through what I would call 40. What stops SHIB? I would say what stops SHIB is Bitcoin, right? In other words, SHIB can play, right, while the big cat hangs out and trades in a $3,000 range. So if you want to play in this, you can play, okay, and the day to get out is the day Bitcoin takes out 65K. So I understand that meme coins are not the most speculative thing in the crypto universe. I also understand that crypto is a free market and it reserves the right, or people in the crypto market reserve the right to decide what is money and what is not. Is this my favorite version of money? No. Is it anybody's favorite version of money? No. That's probably why it's going up, because everyone hates it. This has happened across every market since the beginning of time. If no one owns it and everybody hates it, and there's at least one reason to buy it, sometimes it just goes up. Now, Nano, something we got to address because we've talked about this. If you had said to me 6 months ago, Bill, you've got the right idea about the future of money, except the future of money is Bitcoin and SHIB. If you've ever wondered why this show is not broadcast from my yacht, that's why. Because I know there's a future of money trade out there. I was guessing maybe Dash, right? Forrest and other analysts at Token Metrics were looking at Nano. Now, right this second, it's SHIB and Bitcoin. What happens if there's a third person, right? In technical analysis, things happen in threes, right? So first it was Bitcoin, then it was SHIB. What's the other leg of the future of money? Well, in 2019, I did Litecoin. In 2020, I did Dash. That worked for like 4 months, and then Dash died. So what's the third one? Well, what about Nano? Nano on a monthly chart. Yes, this is a monthly chart of a speculative crypto. It broke out above a certain Gann line in 2021, January. Okay, that's right in the middle of the screen with the black arrow. Then if you go from July to October, Nano has been pounding up and down on this on this Gann line around $5. So Nano, like everything else in its class, has probably been given up for dead. But the candle for this month so far, okay, a month that ends in a couple of days, the candle is green. So if you can get a green candle out of Nano bursting through this Gann line, there's some hope that Nano does better. Is it possible that Bitcoin eats everyone's lunch? I had to eat humble pie on Dash. I don't show the chart anymore because I'm just like, you know what? Even if this goes up, realistically, I'm wrong. But with this, with Nano, with this monthly chart, I'm not giving up on this because if they can do SHIB, they can do Nano. Most importantly, okay, it's not really about the Nano chart. It's about finding stuff that has good momentum. That would probably be like your Solanas and your ETHs. Then there's the stuff that could break out. That's your Phantom or your Binance coin. Okay, not investment advice. Then there's stuff that could catch up, which could be your Algorands, could be your Nanos, okay, could be your Woo network. So when you're building a portfolio, obviously, you want to be on tokenmetrics.com on our indices page. But psychologically, you want to break it down. Like, what's a momentum trade? You know, what's value investing? What's been left for dead? What do I think could break out? And what's a small coin that I can get involved in, that I can get out of in case Bitcoin takes off, right? So the best thing I can tell you for altcoin overtime is this. I just gave you a lot of charts. I just talked about a lot of altcoins, which is really going to mean a whole lot of nothing if Bitcoin takes out 65K on a big green candle. So just remember, in altcoins, buy on red, use stops, play the end of cycle like you're a smart person, even if today is your first day in crypto. Even if you lost money this year, play it smart, believe in yourself, because we at Tokenmetrics believe in you. All right, and that is altcoin overtime. All right, let's check out let's check out the comments. Have they done Matic? Yes, we have done Matic. Matic broke out of a triangle and is actually looking better than I would have expected, even though I saw the triangle breakout. Checking additional comments here. The next possible Solana is Harmony. Interesting. That's something for us to check into. Tune in on Thursday to get more on that. All right, folks, we're approaching the top of the hour. We appreciate your business. Forrest, any last words to our friends out there?
Yeah, I'll just say if things, if things start getting crazy, we're going to see a lot of altcoins go nuts, right? If we go back into a full, price expiration mode for Bitcoin, Ethereum starts making new all times, which is quite honestly what myself and a lot of people are expecting. What's going to be very tempting is to just start degenerating money into low cap projects. But keep in mind, while some of these low cap projects have high potential gains, and of course, if they're projects that are well researched, then maybe it's worth it. But if they're not just extremely solid projects that can bounce back in a bear market, they're going to get crushed. In a bear market, right? Look at the altcoins from 2017. Look at the drawdowns. The 90, 95%, lots of them went out of business, right? But the large cap altcoins, for the most part, either held up better, right? Or had lower drawdowns or bounced back, right? So I know it may seem boring, right now to go buy Ethereum at $4,000, $4,100. But buying Ethereum at $4,100 while the supply is getting choked out and decreasing might actually be the safest or best risk to reward ratio. The habit that I see get people into trouble so often, especially at the end of these bull market cycles, is greed, and only as an extension of that, only looking at the reward potential of something, right? Yes, you can buy a cheap altcoin at a $10 million or $100 million market cap, hoping that it 10x's, 50x's, and 100x's. And while that's a fantastic strategy, that strategy is best reserved for buying those cheap altcoins in a bear market after they've been beaten up or after they've launched and can't get anybody to invest in them, right? But at the place where we're at right now, where we've been in a bull market for over a year, the stuff, the boring stuff is also the safest stuff. Yes, Ethereum will have a nasty drawdown just like everything else if we go into a bear market. But the drawdown in Ethereum, I can almost assure you, again, nothing's financial advice here, it's going to be a lot less than that $100 million market cap coin that's going to go to a $5 million or $3 million market cap in a bear market. So just keep that in mind, guys. Sometimes the boring play is also the safest play. Are you going to forgo 50, 100x returns at the end of a bear market in order to get 3, 4, 5x returns? Yeah, potentially. But you're also going to be insulated against 95, 99% drawdowns, right? So just keep that in mind. Sometimes the boring play is the right play.
All right, folks, that's it for us today. This broadcast was brought to you by tokenmetrics.com and Tokenmetrics TV. If you want more Forrest and more of me, Tokenmetrics TV. This is Bill Noble from Tokenmetrics TV. We're signing off. We'll see you noon Eastern on Thursday. Take care and thank you.
See you guys.